Man, this has been one of the craziest weeks of football that I have seen in over 20 years, with the Las Vegas Raiders losing to the Kansas City Chiefs in what was obvious a horrendous blunder by the referees, and the Raiders end up losing the game. The fumble is given over to the Chiefs. We all know that story. It's been beaten to death. It's gotten millions of views all around the world. What you may not know, and what apparently a lot of people don't know, is that this was not Jackson Powers Johnson's fault. And a lot of you have probably seen, like me, where Aiden O'Connell, after the presser, comes out and says, yeah, guys, this was my fault and this is why. And we're going to touch on that. But I want to show you guys some proof positive that this wasn't JPJ's fault. And I'm also going to explain why it wasn't Aiden O'Connell's fault either. So let's just jump right into that. All right, so the ball is about to get snapped. This is the fumble play, and I want you guys to pay very close attention to our right guard, number 66, right here to the right of Jackson Powers, and what he does here. You see that tap that he just did to Jackson Powers Johnson's right hip? What that's telling Jackson Powers Johnson, who cannot see anything other than what is directly in front of him as his head is up and looking directly forward, it tells him that Aiden O'Connell has just signaled to the right guard, who is the one who looks back to get that attention, that they are ready to snap the ball. And almost immediately, that's exactly what happens. 1 second later, so it was probably a 1 or 2 second snap count, he snaps the ball and he goes into his guard position, and Aiden O'Connell is still not ready. And so what happened here, according to Aiden O'Connell, is he was clapping his hands to get people's attention to get the line straightened out to run this play, and he wasn't actually ready. So this was his mistake. So again, everybody that is commenting that this is on Jackson Powers Johnson, the rookie needs to learn from this, he cost us the game. Guys, you've got to lay off a JPJ. This was not his fault. He did exactly what he was supposed to do right here. He gets signaled to snap the ball. He goes into a snap count and he snaps the ball. The center can't see the quarterback. The center is literally lined up right in front of the quarterback with his head facing forward. If the center gets up and moves around, that's a false start. He has got to stay in a very stationary position when he's getting ready to snap that ball. And so he is relying on his right guard to let him know it's good to go. And that is exactly what happened. As you can see, once again, gets tapped, snaps the ball, goes into his guard position. Not on JPJ, guys. This was not a rookie mistake. I know the announcer said that during the game, but they did clean it up later, saying that, hey, did you see the right guard tap him on the butt? That lets him know to snap the ball, that they are ready to go. That is a silent count style snap. And when you're in a very loud stadium, that's what you're relying on. So this wasn't on JPJ. But let's get into what Aiden O'Connell had to say after the game. And I'm going to explain to you why I'm glad the kid's taking responsibility, but I'm going to explain why it's not actually his fault either.
Clock was running down. I was trying to get the guys lined up. And we were just going to throw the ball out of bounds and run the clock down and get to fourth down and kick the field goal. And it's completely my fault. I was looking out to the right, making sure guys were set, and I started clapping to in my head, I was thinking signal the ball to get the ball, but that's when I start clapping, it tells Jackson basically snap the ball. So Jackson did exactly what he should have done, and I clapped too early. And then, yeah, just how the football bounces, sometimes it didn't go our way. So, yeah.
Yes, it's great that our starting quarterback is showing that maturity. He's putting it on his shoulders. It is not on his offensive line. He screwed up, and therefore we ended up losing the game, even though the refs cost us the game because they incorrectly called a false start. The correct call was an illegal shift, but because they called it a false start and blew the play dead, it should have stayed that way. That's the NFL rule. So yes, they screwed us, but at the same time, we screwed ourselves. However, at the end of the day, I don't even blame Aiden O'Connell for this. This falls squarely on the shoulders of Coach Antonio Pierce, who time and time again has shown mismanagement of both clock management, player personnel, and play calling decisions. Let's get into his presser and what he had to say about, one, calling the punt team off the field and putting Daniel Carlson back on the field to try a 58-yard kick just 2 series earlier, and wasting a timeout to do so, as well as what his thought pattern on was as to why we were even trying to run another play at the end of the game where things can go wrong, where you should be just trying to kick the field goal. Let's jump into that.
Kind of going through the thought process on Daniel's 58-yard field goal. First ran the punter out, then called the timeout.
Just give our kicker. I mean, our special's been right between AJ and Daniel, and I know he missed 2, and you can hear that our guys on the sideline really believed in him, and hell, I didn't blink. So we brought out the punter. You know what? Looking at the time, we came here to win.
So this is my issue with Antonio Pierce. He looks at the time after he sent the punter on the field and then changes his mind and sends the kicker back out. The problem with that is he had to burn a timeout to do so. And it's that lack of being prepared to make the call. You have to, in chess, you have to be 2-3 steps ahead of your opponent in what you're going to do with your moves. And Antonio Pierce seems to just fly off the hip of whatever he's going to do, and then he might change his mind, burn a timeout because he doesn't know what to do, and then send the kicker out there. Well, the kickers, they're very mental. All kickers in the NFL can boot the ball 60-plus yards and make it probably 8 out of 10 times. But it is very mental. You can't, at the very last minute, you've told your kicker you're not going out. Send the punter out there. Okay, wait a minute. No, I changed my mind. Kicker, you go out there and win this game. Go, 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 go. It doesn't work that way. Kickers need to be in their groove. And Daniel Carlson was already struggling in the game. You cannot put that on him for that type of a play. And this is the lack of coaching ability from Antonio Pierce that he has shown over and over and over again. He wasted a timeout, and he ended up costing Daniel Carlson by rushing him to go out there and make the play when he should have been told ahead of time, hey, get ready. If we don't get this first down, you're going in. That way he can prepare. You don't spring it on him last second like that. You're going to mess your kicker up. That's exactly what happened. But there's more.
Point, regardless of where they got the ball, that we go out there, and even though he missed it, we did get another 3 and out and gave our offense a chance.
On the last play, you're just basically trying to get a few more yards there to get into better field goal position.
No, we was going to snap the ball and really just throw the ball out of bounds, and just the ball's at the 32-yard line and kill 4 or 5 more seconds, kick a 49-yard field goal.
Why? Why are we trying to burn 4 seconds? Is Patrick Mahomes, is it going to prevent him? Because he's still going to have time on the clock, even if you do that. He's still going to have 10 seconds. What is the difference between 10 seconds and 4 seconds for the Kansas City Chiefs trying to come back and win that game? Not a lot. Not a lot. But I guarantee you what can happen is what happened to the Raiders. And because of this, any sane coach would make the safe decision and just kick the field goal on 3rd down. There's 2 benefits to doing so. If it is a missed snap, your punter, who is typically the one who's going to catch the ball and put it down for the kicker, if something goes awry, he can grab the ball and throw it out of bounds before the clock runs out, and you get a second chance at a kick. If they're trying to freeze you, ice you, whatever, just having that extra down gives a lot of confidence to your kicker. And that's why all good coaches would not have tried to run a play there from shotgun. If anything, you would simply run it from under center. That way there is much less of an opportunity for there to be a mishap. And then you just back up into your 3-step drop and you just chuck it out of bounds. And you're going to burn 4 seconds. That's a much safer play than what Antonio Pierce had dialed up for the Raiders. And so I think with this this ineptitude as being a coach and making coaching decisions, is really what is hampering this team right now. He's the one who made the decision to put Gardner Minshew in to the beginning of the year. He's the one who made the decision to hire Luke Getsy. And he is the one who has constantly screwed us over on our timeouts and made game-time decisions that cost us the game. And the back and forth with who the quarterback's going to be, not going to be, this and that and this and that. Listen, he has this team fired up, and they believe in him, right? And they go out there and they play their butts off for each other, but also Antonio Pierce. So the cheerleader part of him, of being a coach and being a coach, part of it is being a cheerleader. He's got that nailed down. But these problems with his decision-making is costing the team. And I would have thought he would have learned from last year and really elevated. But he seems to be regressing as a coach when it comes to serious decision-making. And because of that, I have completely lost confidence that Antonio Pierce will be back here next year.